Hi there. We're continuing our journey through the Proverbs, the Mishle Shlomo, the life sayings of Solomon. And today we're finishing chapter 23 and looking at verses 29 to 35. And these 6 verses really or 7 verses, all can have the same theme. They're all about the dangers of alcohol abuse and really the mockery it makes of our humanity when we allow alcohol to take us over. So verse 29 and 30 says in the original, Lemi oi, lemi avo, lemi medyanim, lemi siach, lemi petzaim chanam, lemi chachlilut enayim. And that means, who is woeful and miserable? That lovely word oi in Hebrew means woe, oi. Who has oi? Who has woe? Who has avo? Who has misery? Who gets into fights and talks nonsense? Who has unexplained bruises and bloodshot eyes? And then it says, Lemeachrim ala yain labaim lachkor mimsach. The one who spends all their time on the wine, who just goes on mixing their drinks. And then going on in verses 31 to 35, it says, don't gaze into the wine. Don't sort of be like a connoisseur trying to pick out how red it is and trying to get the strongest alcohol, looking how it sparkles in the cup, almost worshipping it really, because it says in the end it will bite like a poisonous snake. It will sting like a viper. You'll end up seeing hallucinations, crazy things will happen, and then this amazing picture at the end of this chapter where it says you'll stagger like a sailor tossed at sea, and you'll be clinging to the mast that's swaying around. And you'll say, oh, they hit me, but I didn't feel it. I didn't even know when they hit me, when they beat me up. And when can I wake up so I can get another drink? And it's really, the wise man here is just painting a sorry picture of the person who gives themselves over to alcohol, who allows alcohol to control them. A wise man's clear about the scourge of this abuse. It says it causes depression, it causes violence, it causes harm, with a bite like a venomous snake. Now the scriptures themselves don't have any prohibition on alcohol. The only prohibitions on alcohol are for those who've taken special vows not to drink, and they are not permitted to take alcohol. But that's not because alcohol per se is seen to be wrong. Jesus, after all, makes the best wine in the book of John. But there is an issue here of anything other than God having control of us, anything other than God's power, than God's presence, than our human dignity having control of us. And when people give themselves to alcohol, they give themselves to its control, it takes away their control and it turns them into something less than human. And therefore we need to be aware, we need to beware of the control that these things can have over us, and listen to what the sage here says. Paul in Ephesians 5 has a much better remedy, an antidote to drunkenness and to this giving ourselves to control of something that's not God. He says, don't get drunk with wine, that's an abuse, but be filled with the Holy Spirit, speaking to one another in songs, in hymns, in spirit songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. In other words, Paul is saying, have a great time, fill your hearts with joy, be fully alive, but don't let that come from the source of alcohol. Let that be coming from the source himself, who is God, who is the living water, who is the life giver. Let's hear the wise man today, and let's be careful about our use of this gift of God, but one that we don't want to give ourselves the control of. Have a good day.